guys, welcome to the Ranches overview. I firstly want to apologise that there is a little bit of work going on behind me, and I really hope you can't hear it in the video, and if you can, I'm very sorry. So ranching is, I'm going to make the comparison, it is a lot like farming, but ranching is all of the meats, whereas farming is like all of the crops. So first of all, I'll take you on a little tour. This is the ranch house. It's really quite pretty. It's one of the nicer buildings on the server, I would say. It's very aesthetic and looks a lot like a ranch house, I think, from like those cheesy western films. So it has a nice little lounge area, which is just quite cute. So because the ranch house is so far out, ranchers get to do their work orders out here, and they can just stick them straight in shipping, and the porters will just take them from shipping. That's usually what we like to avoid doing, but because they're so far away, we don't expect them to go all the way into town to write a work order and then come all the way back over here. So I'll take you on a little tour. Over here is the kitchen area, obviously where food and drink is kept, but also food for the horses. There is also cat stuff here, Scroll of Freedom and Scroll of Sale, which I'll talk about, organic saltpeter and niter beds, and stuff to craft saddles. So the Scroll of Freedom and Scroll of Sales I will talk about when I show you in here. Oh, also because the only ranch we have right now is really far out, her post box is here instead of in the post office. Just thought I'd point that out. So these are the stables. We're only allowed one pet on the server, but a horse doesn't count as a pet. This is where my horse would be, but since the update we've struggled to get him back. Sad, sad times. Miss you, Yuri, a lot. You would have seen Yuri in my Carpenter series if you ever watched it, but yes. So this is where the horses are kept. You're allowed a horse, one horse each. So with the Scrolls of Freedom and Scrolls of Sales, when you get a horse, there's a long, drawn-out process that you have to do in order to claim it. And that involves feeding it an apple, I think, feeding it a Scroll of Sale, and putting a saddle on it, and then you have to tame it. I think the Scroll of Sale comes last. Cispro taught me this a long time ago, and she's going to kill me when she knows that I forgot it, but I love you anyway. The Scroll of Freedom is just to, like, unclaim the horse, I'm pretty sure. So with ranching, much like farming, you obviously have to breed the animals. This is where the pigs and the cows, no, not the pigs, the sheep and the cows, that's it. This is where the sheep and the cows are kept in the winter, otherwise the snow kills them, they get too cold. I'll go out there and find them in a sec. But this is where the horses are kept, and these are the breeding horses, made clear by their names. You want to breed horses. This was mainly to get horses back for the people here, but somehow she's managed to end up with two of the same horse, so that's going to be quite tricky. I think she also uses the breeding horses to kill. So she makes them breed and then she'll kill one of them, I'm pretty sure. And that's, you've got to kill like one horse a day or something, I think she says she does. One horse a day. Make sure she kills at least one horse a day, because they give you leather, and it's also a very long process to breed a horse, and it's a very long process to do all that. It takes about 5 minutes, and then you only get like one leather out of it, if they even drop anything. And you also get horse meat now, though. We added horse meat. So I'll go venturing off. I'll try and find these sheep and these cows somewhere in this pen, because it's a very, very large pen. Oh, there's one. I knew it. There's not many. I guess she's been killing them off. That's cool. So yeah, the cows tend to run to the very edge of the fence back here. Not really sure why. And that one escaped, but we don't talk about that one. So this area over here is where ranchers will place niter beds and wait for it over time, and it'll eventually turn into saltpeter. And then people can order saltpeter from ranchers as well as miners. So going back to the cows and the sheep and the horses and stuff, that obviously involves feeding. So over here we have two separate pens and stuff. So in here is for cows and probably sheep as well. So the fertilizer is used to fertilize the ground, and the sheep, the pigs, the chickens and the cows will all eat from the floor, and they eat the actual grass that grows on top of the grass, if that makes sense. And that's how they get fed when no one is around. So you want to keep the ground fertilized. So on this side is stuff for milk. Collect milk bottles and milk buckets from cows. And then this is excreta and manure. Now, I don't know if you saw when I ran over to the sheep that there were little brown lumps next to it. That is excreta. It's basically poop. And so our animals actually poop. And when they poop, you can scoop it up and leave it out to dry on that area, and it'll turn into manure. And landscapers can use manure to make fertilizer. Pretty sure it's to make fertilizer or to make compost. Then over here is the hide and the raw beef, which comes from killing the cows, and then right in the middle, circle of life, is the wheat in order to feed them. That's really funnily laid out. Then over here, second storage. Sugarcane is for horses or for sheep. Yeah, sister brother is probably really gonna kill me for that. So obviously the wool collected, the shears for the wool. There's some shovels for the excreta. This is the raw mutton that you get from killing sheep. And tendons, which we have a lot of, and bones, which we have a lot of. Because every animal, or every mob now drops tendons and bones, as well as potentially one of their meat kinds, if we've, like, put in a meat for them. And maybe hide and fur or something. It all depends. Pretty sure the sugarcane is for horses, but if I'm wrong on that, I'm sincerely sorry, sister brother. As far as the video goes, though, I am pretty sure that is everything basic covered that you need to know for the ranches, and yeah, it'll be really nice to see you apply soon.